On our silver wedding anniversary, my husband gave me divorce papers instead of a gift. 25 years is long enough, he announced in front of all our guests. I want someone young now, and you need to be out of the house by tomorrow. He seemed to have forgotten that my parents gave me that house. His mother just smiled silently. I rose, took the microphone, and said something that left him speechless. If you want to know what happens next, please like this video, share it with someone who loves good stories, and subscribe so you never miss what happens when betrayal meets justice. That night began 3 weeks earlier. Emma Carter woke up to whispers coming from behind the bedroom door. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. Who talks on the phone at 3 in the morning? Her husband, Michael Price, was speaking to someone. His voice sounded excited. Strange. Very strange. Emma lay very still in the dark. She tried to hear what he was saying. We have to do this right, Michael's voice said firmly. She won't suspect a thing. Emma's heart started beating faster. Of course not, son, another voice replied. It was Michael's mother, Virginia. Emma would know that cold voice anywhere. Emma felt her whole body go stiff. What were they planning? What secret? And why now? Just a few weeks before their big anniversary party? The wooden floor made a creaking sound. Michael was coming back to the room. Emma quickly closed her eyes tight. She pretended to be asleep. Michael got into bed very carefully. But Emma could feel something was wrong. His body was stiff. He was not relaxed. He kept moving around like he couldn't sleep. Emma wanted to cry, but she didn't. She just lay there in the dark, thinking. The next morning felt weird. Michael was acting super nice. Too nice. Emma, my love, he said, kissing her cheek. He smelled like expensive perfume. When did he start wearing perfume? How about we pick the restaurant for our anniversary today? I want everything to be perfect. Perfect? Emma almost laughed. In 25 years of marriage, Michael had never been excited about family celebrations. Emma always did everything. She picked the places. She invited the people. She ordered the cake. Michael just came and complained. Okay, Emma said carefully. She watched him grab his coat and run out the door to work. His cell phone was still on the table. It lit up with a message. Emma looked at it. She knew she shouldn't, but she did. It was a calendar reminder. Call S at 11 a.m. S? Who was S? Emma's hands started shaking. She tried to sound calm. Honey, she called out to Michael. Who's the S in your phone? Michael turned around fast. For just 1 second, Emma saw fear in his eyes. Real fear. But then he smiled. Oh, that's Sanchez, he said quickly. A work friend from Seattle. Just business stuff. A lie. Emma knew her husband. After 25 years, she knew everything about him. When Michael told a lie, his left eye always did a little twitch. And right now, his eye was twitching like crazy. I see, Emma said with a smile. But inside, her heart felt like it was breaking into a million pieces. When Michael left, Emma stood by the window. She looked at the gray sky. It was October. Cold. Sad. 25 years. That's how long they'd been married. They met in college. Emma was studying to be an accountant. She was really smart with numbers. Michael was learning to be a business manager. He had big dreams. They fell in love. Real love. The kind you see in movies. They got married and dreamed about having lots of children. A big, happy family with kids running around, laughing, playing. But the children never came. The doctors said nothing was wrong. But still, no baby. Year after year after year. Nothing. Michael took it very hard. His mother, Virginia, made it even worse. She kept making mean comments about grandchildren. When will I get grandchildren? She'd ask at every holiday. All my friends have grandchildren. What's wrong with you two? Finally, Emma and Michael stopped trying. They decided to focus on the good things. They could travel. They could work on their careers. They had more time for each other. But something changed between them. Something important. Something that made them feel like strangers living in the same house. Knock. 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 Someone was at the door. Emma opened it. Standing there was Virginia Price, Michael's mother. She had that fake smile on her face, the smile that never reached her eyes. "Emma, dear," she said, walking right into the house without being invited. "How are you? Are you ready for the party?" Virginia had never liked Emma. In 25 years, she never once called Emma her daughter. It was always dear or Emma or Michael's wife. Never family. Never daughter. "Getting there," Emma replied. "Michael wants to celebrate at a restaurant." "Very good," Virginia said, looking around the living room. Her eyes moved over everything like she was judging it all. A nice place with guests. That shows how important this anniversary is. Emma knew that look. Virginia's house was bigger. Virginia's furniture was more expensive. Virginia's life was better. That's what that look always said. "By the way, Emma, dear," Virginia said, sitting down in the best chair. "I've been thinking. Michael is not young anymore. He's 53 years old. And, well, we don't have grandchildren." Emma's whole body went cold. "Don't you think," Virginia continued, "it would be smart to write a will? You know, for the future? For my nephews." "What nephews?" Emma asked. "We don't have children." "My sister's boys," Virginia said, waving her hand like it was obvious. "Two good boys. They're in college. They work hard. If something happens and there's no will, the government takes everything." Emma slowly put down her teacup. Her hands were shaking. "And where do you keep the house papers?" Virginia suddenly asked, like she was asking about the weather. There it was. The real question. "Why do you want to know?" Emma asked. "Oh, just in case," Virginia said with that fake smile. "You never know what might happen. It's good to know where important papers are. For the boys. For the future." When Virginia finally left, Emma sat alone in the quiet house. The midnight phone call. Michael's sudden kindness. And now Virginia asking about the house papers. Piece by piece, Emma was seeing the picture. And it was a picture she did not like. Not one bit. Emma went straight to Michael's computer. For 25 years, Michael had never changed his password. He always used the same one. The date they first met. September 1st, 1999. Emma typed it in. Access denied. Her heart started pounding. In all these years, he had never kept secrets from her. Never locked her out. Never hidden anything. She tried his birthday. Nope. She tried his mother's birthday. Nothing. Then she had an idea. What if he used their wedding date, but backwards? She typed it in. The computer opened. Emma's hands were shaking as she looked at the browser history. What she saw made her feel sick. How to divorce when you share property. Wife's rights in property division. Legal advice for separation. How to keep the house in a divorce. Legal tricks for dividing assets. He had searched for all of this. Page after page after page. All in the last 2 weeks. Emma felt like she couldn't breathe. The room was spinning. 25 years. A quarter of her life. And he was planning to throw her away like garbage. She sat there, staring at the screen, feeling numb. Then her phone rang. It was her best friend, Rachel. "Emma." Rachel's voice was urgent. "You won't believe what I just saw." "What?" Emma whispered. "Your husband, Michael. I saw him at the jewelry store in the mall. He was with a young woman." "Emma, they were looking at rings. Engagement rings." Emma closed her eyes. Even though she knew something was wrong, hearing it out loud made it real. "What did she look like?" Emma asked quietly. "Maybe 30 years old," Rachel said. "Blonde hair. Very pretty. Wearing expensive clothes. A fancy coat that probably cost thousands of dollars. And, Emma, they were hugging. Kissing. Acting like a couple. Right there in public." "I'm so sorry." "Are you okay?" "Yes," Emma lied. "Everything's fine." But nothing was fine. Nothing would ever be fine again. That evening, Michael came home with a big bouquet of red roses and a box of expensive chocolates. "For my one and only true love," he said with a big smile. He kissed her on the lips. One and only. How ironic, Emma thought bitterly. She looked him straight in the eyes. We need to talk. About our future. Michael's whole body went stiff. Just for a second. But Emma saw it. Talk about what? He asked, turning on the TV. Pretending to watch. Everything's great, right? The anniversary is in 1 week. All our friends will be there. Let's not ruin the mood with serious stuff. We'll talk after the party. Okay. After the party. That meant something big was planned for the party. Emma nodded like she agreed. But inside, she felt like ice. Cold and hard and ready. After 25 years, she knew her husband very well.
He was planning something.
Something involving his mother. Something involving a lawyer. Something that would happen at the party in front of everyone. What Michael didn't know was that Emma had her own secret. Something that could destroy all his plans. And she wasn't going to tell him.
Not yet.
The next morning, Emma woke up feeling terrible. Like someone she loved had died. Michael left early. I have an important meeting, he said, not looking at her. A meeting.
Right.
Emma knew exactly who that meeting was with. At 11 o'clock in the morning, the house phone rang. Michael had forgotten his cell phone. It was sitting on the kitchen counter, face down. Emma didn't answer the house phone. But the answering machine did. Michael, it's Mom. Virginia's voice came through the speaker. I spoke to Mr. Hayes. Everything can be arranged. The important thing is that she doesn't suspect anything until the very last moment. Call me when you're free.
Hayes.
The S in Michael's calendar wasn't Sanchez from Seattle. It was Hayes. A lawyer. Maybe the divorce lawyer. Emma felt the floor disappear beneath her feet. 25 years. A quarter century beside a man who is now planning her betrayal like it was just paperwork. Like she was just a problem to solve. She walked over to Michael's phone. It needed a 6-digit code. She tried the date they met. 090199.
Nope.
She tried Virginia's birthday. Nothing. She tried their wedding anniversary. Denied. Then she tried something else. The date Michael's father died. The man Virginia had been married to for 30 years before he passed away. The phone unlocked. Emma's hands were shaking so hard, she almost dropped it. She went straight to his text messages. There it was. A contact named Stella Redhart. Emma's stomach twisted. She opened the messages. Can't wait to see you tonight, baby. Wear that red dress I like. Miss you so much. This week feels like forever. After Saturday, we can finally be together. No more hiding. I love you, Michael. You're making me the happiest woman alive. The messages went back months. 6 months. Since April. While Emma was planning their anniversary party. While she was picking out her dress. While she was making the guest list and calling the restaurant and ordering the cake. Michael was texting another woman. Loving another woman. Emma scrolled further. There were pictures. A young blonde woman.
Stella.
She looked about 28 or 30. Beautiful.
Smiling.
Wearing expensive jewelry. In one photo, she was wearing what looked like a promise ring. In another photo, Michael and Stella were together. At a restaurant. At the beach. At a hotel. Emma felt sick. But then she saw something else. Something interesting. A message from 2 weeks ago. Michael, my lawyer says we can do it at the party. In front of everyone. That way, she'll be too shocked to fight back. She'll just sign whatever I give her. Stella. And then the condo is yours? Your mom promised me she'd make sure of it. Michael. Don't worry, baby. Mom has it all figured out. The house papers are in Emma's name, but if I embarrass her enough publicly, she'll sign them over just to avoid the humiliation. Then we can sell it and buy our own place. Somewhere you choose. Emma read it again. And again. They were planning to humiliate her at her own anniversary party.
To shock her so badly.
That she'd sign away her house. The house her parents had given her. The house that was in her name only. Michael thought she'd be so embarrassed, so broken, so destroyed that she'd just give up everything. Emma sat there for a long time. Thinking. Planning. Then she smiled. A cold smile. If Michael wanted a show at the anniversary party, she'd give him one. Oh yes, She would give him a show he'd never forget. Emma picked up her phone and made a call. Hello, is this Patterson Law Firm? Yes, I need to speak to someone about protecting my assets.
Today.
It's urgent. 2 hours later, Emma was sitting in a lawyer's office. A nice woman named Ms. Chen listened to everything. Do you have proof? Ms. Chen asked. Emma showed her the text messages, the photos, the computer search history, Michael's phone, everything. Ms. Chen smiled. Mrs. Carter, you have an excellent case. And because the house is in your name only, he has no claim to it. None at all. But we need to act fast. What do I do? Emma asked. First, we file paperwork.
Today.
Second, we get you a restraining order ready, just in case. Third, we prepare a surprise of our own for this party. Ms. Chen leaned forward. Mrs. Carter, your husband thinks he's going to embarrass you publicly, so you'll give up. But what if you embarrass him first? What if you had proof to show everyone? What if you had the police there? Emma's eyes went wide. The police? Your husband is planning to fraud you out of your property, Ms. Chen explained. That's a crime. We can have officers there, waiting. When he hands you those divorce papers and tries to force you out, you can have him arrested. In front of everyone. His mother too, if she's involved. Emma felt something she hadn't felt in weeks.
Hope.
Let's do it, she said firmly. Let's give Michael the surprise of his life. Ms. Chen smiled. This is going to be good. The day of the anniversary party arrived. Emma woke up feeling calm. Strange. She thought she'd be nervous. Scared. But instead, she felt powerful. She knew what was coming. And she was ready. Michael was acting extra sweet all morning, bringing her coffee, complimenting her dress, kissing her cheek. You look beautiful, Emma, he said with that fake smile. Tonight is going to be unforgettable. Yes, Emma agreed, looking him straight in the eye. Yes, it will be. If only he knew. The restaurant was perfect. White tablecloths. Candles everywhere. Soft music playing. 50 guests filled the room. Friends. Family. Co-workers. Everyone they knew. Virginia sat at the head table, wearing a purple dress and too much jewelry. She kept smiling at Michael. Secret smiles. Knowing smiles. Emma saw everything. She noticed Virginia's nephew and his brother sitting near the front. The ones who were supposed to inherit her house. They looked confused, like they didn't know why they were even there. At 7:30, Michael stood up. He tapped his glass with a spoon.
Ting, ting, ting.
Everyone got quiet. Thank you all for coming, Michael said loudly. His voice was confident. Too confident. 25 years ago, I married this woman. 25 years. That's a long time. People clapped. Some said, "Ah." Emma sat very still, waiting. But Michael continued, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately.
About life.
About happiness. About what I deserve. The room got quieter. People looked confused. Michael reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a large envelope. Emma, he said, looking down at her. 25 years is long enough. I want someone young now. Someone who can give me the life I deserve. So tonight, instead of a gift, I'm giving you these. He dropped the envelope on the table in front of her. Divorce papers. Gasps filled the room. People started whispering. Some stood up. What? Someone shouted. Michael, what are you doing? A friend yelled. But Michael kept talking, louder now. And Emma, you need to be out of the condo by tomorrow. Pack your things. It's time for you to go. Virginia was smiling. Actually smiling. Like this was the best moment of her life. Emma sat there, looking at the envelope. She didn't open it. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just looked at Michael. Then she stood up. The room went completely silent. Emma picked up the microphone from the stand nearby. Her hand was steady. Thank you, Michael, she said calmly. Her voice was strong. Thank you for doing this in front of everyone. Because now they can all be witnesses. Michael's smile started to fade. Witnesses to what? Emma smiled. A cold smile. Witnesses to your fraud. Your lies. And your crime. What are you talking about? Michael's voice cracked. Emma opened her purse. She pulled out her own envelope. A thick one. These, she said, holding it up, are copies of your text messages with Stella Martinez. 6 months of messages. Photos.
Plans.
Including the ones where you, your mother, and your lawyer planned to fraud me out of MY House. The room exploded with noise. What? No way. Michael, you didn't. Virginia's face went white. Emma continued. The house you want me out of? The one MY parents gave me? It's an MY name only. You have no legal claim to it. You never did. But you knew that. So you planned to humiliate me publicly so I'd be too broken to fight back. So I'd just sign it over to you and your girlfriend. Michael's mouth opened and closed like a fish. No words came out. Here's what's really interesting, Emma said, walking closer to him. In our state, adultery affects divorce settlements. And trying to defraud your spouse out of their property? That's a crime. A real crime. She turned to the crowd. I've already filed for divorce. 3 days ago. My lawyer has everything. The texts, the evidence, the proof. And because Michael committed adultery and attempted fraud, he gets nothing. Not the house. Not my savings. Not my retirement fund. Nothing. Virginia jumped up. You can't do this. Oh, but I can, Emma said calmly. And there's more. Ms. Chen. A woman in a business suit stood up from one of the back tables. Emma's lawyer. Everything Mrs. Carter said is true and documented, Ms. Chen announced. Mr. Price, you're being served. She handed Michael a stack of papers. Divorce papers, restraining order, and a fraud investigation notice. Michael looked like he might faint, but Emma wasn't done. And mother-in-law, Emma said, turning to Virginia. I have recordings of you trying to get information about my house papers. Conspiring with your son. That makes you an accomplice to fraud. My lawyer will be contacting your lawyer. Virginia sat down hard. Her face was red. Then Emma saw her.
Stella.
Sitting in the corner, trying to hide behind a menu. The young blonde from the photos. Oh, and Stella, Emma called out. Yes, I see you there. The girl who thought she was getting a rich man and a free condo. Surprise. Michael is broke. He has massive credit card debt. Gambling problems. I've been covering his debt for years. You can have him, but you'll be paying his bills now, not living in MY House. Stella's eyes went huge. She looked at Michael. You said you were rich. You said. Shut up, Stella, Michael hissed. The room was in chaos. Everyone was talking at once, yelling. Some people were laughing. Others looked shocked. Emma tapped the microphone again. One more thing, she said. I want everyone here to know something. For 25 years, I loved this man. I gave him everything.
My time.
My money. My heart. We couldn't have children, and that was hard. But I thought we'd face life together. I thought we were a team. Her voice got stronger. But he saw me as an obstacle. Something to get rid of. Something to steal from. Well, Michael, you made one big mistake. You underestimated me. Emma placed the microphone down gently on the table. She picked up her purse. She looked at Michael one last time. 25 years was long enough, she said softly. Long enough for me to finally see who you really are. Goodbye, Michael. Enjoy your young girlfriend and your empty bank account. She walked toward the door. The entire room started clapping, then cheering. People were standing up, applauding her. You go, Emma.
Yes.
Good for you. That's how it's done. Michael just stood there, holding the divorce papers, his face red, his mother crying beside him, and Stella already heading for the exit. Emma walked out of that restaurant with her head high. She didn't look back. Not once. Outside, Miss Chen was waiting by the car. That, the lawyer said with a huge smile, was magnificent. Emma laughed. Actually laughed. For the first time in weeks. It felt good, she admitted. What will you do now? Ms. Chen asked. Emma looked up at the stars. The night was beautiful.
Cool. Fresh.
Whatever I want, she said.
Travel.
Start that business I always dreamed about. Maybe write a book. Whatever makes me happy. For the first time in 25 years, I'm going to live for me. Ms. Chen nodded. You deserve it. Emma got in her car and drove home. To her house. The one her parents gave her. The one she'd fought for, and won. As she unlocked the door, she realized something. She wasn't sad anymore. She wasn't angry. She felt free.
Light.
Like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. Michael wanted someone young? He could have her. Along with all his problems. Emma wanted something better. She wanted herself back. And that's exactly what she got. Did this story give you justice chills? If you enjoyed watching Emma get her revenge, smash that like button. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe so you never miss another story of betrayal, justice, and triumph. Drop a comment below telling me what you would have said to Michael. Thanks for watching, and remember, never let anyone make you feel small. You are powerful, and you deserve respect.